Is Shiv dead now on AP mages? What's the jungle meta looking like with so many changes this patch? Welcome back everyone to a brand new tier list update where, with the help of our challenger players and analyzing the most recent data, we are set to bring you guys the inside scoop on all the new meta trends for patch 13.13. And just before we get started, if you want to improve fast and get the rank you always wanted, then go to SkillCapped.com. Stop wasting your time grinding thousands of games only to see no progress. With SkillCapped, you'll uncover the secrets to climbing ranks fast that only take a few minutes to learn and can be immediately applied in your next game. The best part is, it's completely risk-free to try, as you're kept safe with our rank up insurance. If you don't significantly improve while actively using SkillCapped, then you get your money back, no questions asked. So what are you waiting for? Get the rank you've always wanted by clicking the link in the description below. So let's start things off by covering the top lane. Top lane was the role least impacted by the 13.13 changes, so let's dive right into the tier list. OP tier will once again consist of Jax and Malphite as the most powerful picks. Two more niche top lane picks being Varus and Ivern were hit even harder than we originally anticipated by their nerfs, so we're moving both champs even further down the tier list and into C for 13.13. For an update on static Shiv, definitely continue to run it on your AD champs, and for top lane specifically, Quinn is amazing with the item. For AP champs though, like Kennen, he's performing extremely poor with static now after the nerfs. Same thing with Akali, she was great with Shiv last patch, but no longer after the nerfs. Essence Reaver changes directly influenced a few top lane champs this patch as well, like Gangplank and Tryndamere. However, neither champ has seen a significant increase in power. Essence changes were very power neutral, so no champion shifts on the tier list as a result. Our top three low elo top laners of the patch are Malphite, Mundo, and Garen. A few of the most ban-worthy top laners for the current meta include Fiora, Jax, and Malphite. At the time of making our pre-patch tier list, we did not have the information on the 13.13 Nidalee buff, but now that we do, let's talk a bit about it. Nid's base movement speed was increased by 5, which may not seem like a big deal, but any kind of change that increases early game tempo for a snowball-reliant champion like Nidalee has bigger implications. Nidalee is always a very difficult champion for us to rank because the champion power varies so much depending on elo. Right now, for Masters and above, where players can really exploit and execute Nidalee's strong early game, she is without question an OP pick. On the flip side though, for Diamond and below, she's really nothing special, and there are easier to pilot champs who can get the job done way more reliably. Since we cater our tier list more heavily towards what's best for Diamond and below, Nidalee will find a spot in our A tier for 13.13. After Ghostblade was nerfed, Hecarim fell off a bit for a patch or so, but now that players have realized how powerful Duskblade is on the pick, he's back to being a very strong jungler. If you like that aggressive style of jungling where you can spam gank early on, this meta is perfect for you, as Hecarim, Rek'Sai, and Jarvan are all in amazing spots. We'll be giving Heck the bump from A into S for mid-patch. We mentioned in the pre-patch tier list that we'd be open to moving Rel up the jungle tier list if the changes prove to be impactful, and that's exactly what we'll be doing. Rel's clear is absolutely insane now, as the damage to monster buffs she got to Q and E have helped her out massively. Gank power is nothing to scoff at either, as you've got the move speed boost from E to create favorable gank angles, and the CC from Q and W to lock the enemy down. Skirmish is not her strongest point, and especially against mobile champs like Kindred or Graves, it can be a bit more difficult. Kindred is definitely the ban we recommend you use if you're planning to pick up Rel jungle. With all that said, we will be moving Rel up one tier, going from B into A for 13.13. So for the complete jungle tier list, we have a few minor adjustments to discuss, as our three OP picks will revolve around Rek'Sai, Ivern, and Jarvan. We definitely expected the Ivern nerfs to hit a little harder than they have, but he's continued to perform exceptionally well here in 13.13, so a bump back up into OP is warranted. It's really lane Ivern that got hit the hardest by those nerfs and is quite weak now, while jungle Ivern has remained a top tier pick. All the other jungle changes have panned out as we expected. Rek'Sai is still great, Kindred remains a very powerful pick, Vi and Wukong are both shaping out to be two of the weaker solo queue junglers now as a result of their nerfs this patch. A few junglers who are extremely powerful for the lower ranks right now are Rammus, Amumu, and Nocturne. Evelynn, Hecarim, and Rek'Sai are the junglers highest on our ban list. The champion affected the most by 13.13 was not actually a champ who received a direct nerf or buff. It was the nerf to static Shiv that has led to a very significant collapse in LeBlanc's solo queue power. Shiv is no longer outperforming Ludens as a rush item on LeBlanc, and standard AP builds are now the play again. LeBlanc is not completely terrible as a result of Shiv being nerfed, but she's nothing more than an average B tier pick for 13.13. Despite Shiv being nerfed for AP champs, it's still great on AD champs, and one pick many pros are abusing it on for 13.13 is Tristana. Chovy has been liking this one in solo queue, and for the complete core build, it's Shiv into Quick Blade second and Bloodthirster third. You also want to run Fleet Footwork for the Keystone Rune instead of Press the Attack or Hail of Blades. You can also run Demolish in Runes, which has great synergy with static Shiv, as you can perma-push waves to reach towers really fast and begin mowing them down. This setup on Trist is giving her a lot of strength for solo queue right now, and she will be placed in the mid lane S tier. It's a rather calm patch for mid lane, as the meta has not seen any drastic shifts. OP tier will be the same as we we had it for pre-patch, with Neeko, Talon, and Pantheon taking home the slots. Neeko nerfs have put a considerable dent in her solo queue power, but she was just so broken before that she remains a great option even after the changes. Any changes have played out as we anticipated, with her losing that OP tier status, but remaining a solid S tier pickup. Other than LeBlanc, a few AP mids like Zoe and Akali were liking Shiv last patch, but very much like LeBlanc, they are performing drastically worse in 13.13. Shiv is no longer the better rush option on the analytical side of things, and although it's not a terrible option, going standard AP builds are just more optimal now. Our highest priority low elo picks to climb out of mid lane the fastest are Malzahar, Aurelion Sol, and Annie. A few of the best value mid lane bans of the patch include Zed, Neeko, and Fizz. As a result of the Duskblade nerfs this patch, Samira has seen a pretty big drop in win rate, but it's mainly due to most players just building her wrong. Duskblade Rush is no longer the best option, as you want to be rushing the Collector. Second item is where you can deviate depending on the game, as Duskblade and Infinity Edge are pretty near equal in strength now. Dusk is providing you that lethality, so in games where the enemy comp is super squishy, look to run it. Games where the enemy team has more bruiser or tank champs, the crit from Infinity Edge is going to be of better value. A lot of Samira's power definitely came from the OP interaction between her R and Duskblade, so now that it's been removed, we are giving her a small bump down the tier list from OP into S. Moving on to the complete ADC tier list, the OP tier is locked down by just two champions, being Ashe and Miss Fortune. Ashe is incredibly powerful with Trinity Force right now, while Miss Fortune is dominating with her lethality build. The nerfs to Static Shiv have not significantly impacted these hybrid ADC builds as much as the pure AP builds of mages, and it's remained a great pickup on Kai'Sa. Varus does build more pure AP after Shiv, so he was negatively affected a bit more. However, the setup with Nashers and Riftmaker is still completely viable for 13.13. Definitely continue to run Static Shiv on ADCs like Vayne, Zeri, and Sivir, as it's their best rush option right now. For some reason, 10% of Zeri players are still running the Bruiser build, so for the sake of everyone's elo, please stop building it now that Sheen no longer procs with Zeri Q. The top 3 ADCs for low elo this patch are Twitch, Miss Fortune, and Ashe. Kai'Sa, Ezreal, and Draven are 3 of the highest value ADC bans. Support has no major changes for mid-patch, but we are making a few small adjustments. Rel is going to stand alone as the only OP tier support for 13.13. As we anticipated, the nerfs this patch were not enough to impact Rel's solo Q power, and she continues to smash the competition. The champ is just so broken into other melee supports, and even though she isn't the greatest into enchanters, that doesn't really matter right now. Lulu and Yuumi were nerfed so hard that Rel is actually winning a ton against them. It's really only Janna that is seeing any kind of success in Rel and solo queue, and that's due to her strong disruption and peel power. If you want some free elo from the support role right now, especially since 13.13 is a 3-week patch, definitely look into picking up Rel. With Ashe and Miss Fortune being super strong in meta, if you can duo up and play Rel with either one of those champs, the 2v2 kill power is massive. Rel MF is one of the most disgusting combos in the game right now, and can quite literally 2v5 games if ahead early on. Duo has a 57% win rate so far this patch, with over 5,000 games played, so it's not like you can even say the sample size is skewing the win rate. End of the split is coming up, so if you're looking for that last minute push into gold, finding a duo partner and playing Miss Fortune with Rel is going to be one of your best bets to getting there. If you're just dead set on never picking up Rel, then Heimerdinger and Zyra are also really good options for low elo. Best support bans of the patch are 3 melee champs, being Nautilus, Blitzcrank, and Rel. So that wraps up our tier list update for 13.13, but if you want to improve fast and get the rank you've always wanted, then go to SkillCapped.com. With premium courses for every role and skill taught by the best players, SkillCapped is the perfect platform to help take your game to the next level. Take our wave control course. While you wait for your next game to start, you can learn freezing, fast pushing, slow pushing, bouncing waves, the list goes on, all in just a few minutes to maximize your improvement rate. Or maybe you just like seeing your opponent's health go to 0. Then you'll love our trading course. We even have a skill test at the end so you can see how good you really are. Players just like you are leaving 5-star reviews and raving at how helpful they are. That's not all we offer though, as every week we release 10 brand new Smurf commentaries where a challenger player teaches you how to climb out of the exact rank you're stuck in. If you're looking for something more personal instead, then we got you covered with one-on-one coaching from our trained challenger experts. All this seemed too good to be true? Well, don't worry, we're backed by a rank up guarantee. If you don't significantly improve while actively using SkillCapped, then you get your money back, no questions asked. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below and get the rank you've always wanted. Thanks so much for watching everyone, good luck in solo queue, and we'll see you in the next one.